time we absorb facts, information, and skills. We get our theoretical and practical understanding through education and experience. It's called knowledge. Welcome to television's longest-running high school quiz show, Knowledge Bowl. Let's join two of our competing Northeast Michigan high schools and our host, Joe Rivarchik, for today's match.
Hello, Northeast Michigan, and welcome to Knowledge Bowl. My name is Joseph Rivarchik. It's my pleasure to be the moderator for Michigan's longest-running high school quiz show. Today we're joined by Hale on my left and Whittemore Prescott on my right, and we're going to begin with some introductions from either team, and we'll start with the captain for Whittemore Prescott.
Hello, my name's Megan Bliss, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name's Aria Limbaugh, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Autumn Foreman, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Sean Page, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Sharon Britt, and I'm a freshman.
And they're joined by their coach, Dave Mervin. Thank you. And then on my left, we have Hale, and we're going to start with their team captain.
Ethan Rash, senior.
Jacob Short, sophomore.
Jared Ranger, sophomore.
Annalie Bamger, sophomore.
Charlie Jones, sophomore. Elizabeth, sophomore.
And they're joined by their team coach, Jordan Barkley, so thank you. Also want to thank our judges today, Dylan Arthur and Matthew Fitzpatrick. And now we're going to begin our first round, which is a toss-up round, but before we do that, here's how it works.
Round 1 is a toss-up format. A question will be asked, and the first competitor to ring in has the opportunity to answer the question. If a correct answer is given, the team is awarded 10 points. No consulting is allowed. If the answer is incorrect, then the question goes to the opposing team to answer.
All right, so let's begin our first toss-up round. We're going to start with a math question. Evaluate the limit as x approaches infinity of the quantity 5 minus the quantity 2 divided by x to the 4th power, close both quantities. All right, the answer is 5. His 1929 book, Marriage and Morals, questions the Victorian notions of morality regarding sex and marriage, in particular claiming that a marriage should only be considered binding after the woman bears a child. 10 years later, this book was the primary weapon used against him in stripping him of his professorial appointment at the City College of New York, although the real reason was the vindictiveness of a mother whose son this philosopher had deemed ineligible for his course in mathematical logic, a subject in which he was perhaps the world's leading authority. Who was this British founder of analytical philosophy and co-author with Alfred North Whitehead of the Principia Mathematica? That'd be Bertrand Russell. Winning a Nobel Prize for their efforts, in 1995, two scientists from the University of Colorado created what new state of matter? Ethan.
Plasma.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Anyone from Whittemore Prescott? It'd be the Bose-Einstein condensate. His short vocal composition, Vocalize, has no words. Niccolò Paganini composed a set of 24 caprices, the last of which inspired this composer's Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. Name this Russian composer. All right, that'd be Sergei Rachmaninoff. Find the smallest positive degree value of theta that makes this equation true. Second of theta equals cosecant of the quantity theta over 2 plus 20, close quantity. Ethan?
2.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Anyone from Whittemore Prescott? It'd be 140 over 3 degrees. Here's another math. Find all possible values of x such that the distance from 6, 5 to 8, x is 2 root 2. X equals 7 and x equals 3. An atom has an atomic number A and an atomic mass Z. What happens to both A and Z if the atom undergoes beta minus decay? Ethan.
They decrease.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Anyone from Whittemore Prescott? A increases by 1 and Z remains the same. Which 3 European nations are only one syllable in English? Spain, France, and Greece. Modern day ones use shredded office paper. Richard E. Byrd has the individual record, having been honored with free parades. What is this celebratory event held in Ethan?
The ticket.
Sorry.
Oh, got it.
All right, anyone from Whittemore? Sean?
Confetti.
Oh, sorry. It's the ticker tape parade. So you had it on the tip of your tongue there. It's formally stated as, formally stated as, if 2 systems are at the same time in thermal equilibrium with a third system, they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This concept permits us to define the empirical physical parameter called temperature, and the law allows for the construction of a thermometer to measure the property. What is the name of this strangely numbered law of thermodynamics? It'd be the zeroth law. Its downtown is known as Glitter Gulch. An annual computer convention is held there. Name this desert city the seat of Clark County, known for its buffets and its strip, which calls itself the entertainment capital of the world. Ethan.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is correct. And that's going to do it for our first round. We'll be right back with some scores and for our bonus round. Welcome back. We've got some scores for you. We've got Hale with 10 so far and Whittemore Prescott with 0. And now we're going to move on to our second round, which is a bonus round. But before we do, here's how it works.
This is the bonus round. It consists of toss-up questions, as in round 1. However, this is the twist. The team answering correctly then gets 4 bonus questions. For each question answered correctly, a series of points will be awarded. Team members can consult, but only the team captain can answer the question. After an incorrect answer, the toss-up portion begins again for both teams.
All right, welcome back. We're going to start our bonus round now, and I'm going to start off with some of the toss-up questions. What are the 2 kinds of spiders responsible for about half the spider bites reported to poison control centers annually in the U.S.? Ethan.
The Black Widow and Brown Recluse.
That's correct. So we're going to move on to some bonus questions. I will name a place located outside the U.S. You tell me to which U.S. time zone it would correspond. For instance, Winnipeg would correspond to Central Time. Havana.
Central.
Sorry, incorrect. It's Eastern.
I wasn't thinking.
So we'll go back to the toss-up questions now.
Had that.
Name the only 2 independent island nations in the Mediterranean Sea. One was the site of the most copper mining during the Roman Empire, and the other was a British garrison during World War II. That'd be Cyprus and Malta. The cosmic microwave background radiation throughout the universe is believed to be the remnants of what? It's the Big Bang. The Cortes Generals in Spain and the Congress in the U.S. are most similar to what body in India and Canada? Jared?
Prime Minister.
Sorry.
Oh, Jared.
Anyone from Whittemore Prescott? The Parliament. Lord Ismay, its first Secretary General, said its purpose was to keep the Russians out, the Americans in, and the Germans down. Name this organization that directly conflicted with the members of the Warsaw Pact. It'd be NATO. The largest one is almost 13 million digits long. It's equal to 2 to the 43,112,609th power minus 1. What kind of number is it? Aria?
A Googleplex?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Anyone from Hale? Ethan?
A prime number.
Prime number is correct. We'll go ahead and move on to a bonus question. The topic is cattle.
Okay.
What types of hooves do cattle have? That'd be cloven or divided hooves. And just so you know, you guys can talk among, you can collaborate, okay. So we'll go back to the toss-up questions. The keys of F major and D minor each have one flat. How many flats do the keys of E flat major and G minor have? Ethan?
4.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Anyone from Whittemore Prescott? Aria?
3.
3 is correct. So we'll move on to our next bonus question. All right, this one is 12th century. In what new architectural style were the Abbey of Saint Denis and Chartres Cathedral constructed?
Gothic.
Gothic is right. What heiress to the Duchy of Aquitaine was the first queen of France? Okay, that'd be Eleanor. Let's go back to our toss-ups. Chechnya is located in the section of Russia between these two large bodies of water. One of them provides the location for all of Romania's beach resorts. The other one, Rand McNally calls the world's largest lake. Name them. The Black and Caspian Seas. The Great Plastic Vortex is an accumulation of plastic debris, plastic bags, plastic bottles, and plastic toys swept by ocean currents into an area about twice the size of Texas. In what ocean? Aria?
The Pacific.
The Pacific is right. Move on to a bonus question. Topic is hunting. The National Champion Field Trial Training, The National Champion Field Trial Training dog would point with how many feet on the ground?
3.
3 is right. Which is the most difficult target? A duck, a deer, a dove, or a squirrel?
Squirrel.
Sorry, incorrect. It's actually a dove. We'll go back to our toss-up questions. What city is home to these literary characters? Mrs. Dalloway, Phileas Fogg, and Jack Dawkins. Ethan?
New York.
Sorry. Anyone from Whittemore? All right. It's actually London. Consider Lizzie Borden and Carrie Nation. The former was a murderer, and the latter a crusader for temperance. They both were famous for using what tool? Autumn.
Axe.
Axe is right. And we'll move on to a bonus question. For each clue, give a word ending in ish, I-S-H. A small vegetable.
Radish.
Correct. Institute, found.
Establish.
Correct. Acute suffering or distress. Anguish. And that'll do it for our bonus round. We'll be right back with some scores and for a 60-second round. Welcome back. We have some updated scores for you. We've got Hale with 30 and Whittemore Prescott with 55. Now we're going to move into our 60-second round, but before we do, here's how it works.
This is our 60-second round. The team with the lowest score selects from one of the 4 categories of 10 questions. The team that has 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Any missed questions will then be answered by the opposing team. An additional 20-point bonus is awarded for answering all 10 questions correctly.
Okay, we're about to move into our 60-second round, but before we do that, we have an alternate on Hale's team. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Elizabeth Elford.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we'll go ahead and start, and we're going to start with Hale, and their topic is tradition. Tradition is a tune from which Broadway show about a Jewish milkman in a Russian village?
Pass.
There are 4 different kinds of law in the United States. Which kind has developed from tradition and custom?
Constitutional.
Sorry. What is the universally recognized solution from one actor to another just before going on stage? Salutation. Sorry.
Break a leg.
Break a leg.
Correct. According to Muslim tradition, Muhammad ascended to heaven from the Temple Mount in what city?
Mecca.
Mecca.
Sorry. Every New Year's Eve, a ball drops in what New York City location during the countdowns to New Year's?
Times Square.
Correct. A procession of mourners is accompanied by musicians who play old familiar hymns and which later gives way to joyful music and dancing. Jazz funeral is a tradition in which American city?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Correct. The ghost dance is a mystic tradition among members of which ethnic group?
Native American.
Correct. What personal items does a widow properly set aside when she remarries?
Rings.
Correct. All right.
Good.
So any past or missed questions will go to Whittemore Prescott. Tradition is a tune from which Broadway show about a Jewish milkman in a Russian village?
Pass.
The Fiddler on the Roof. There are 4 different kinds of law in the United States. Which kind has developed from tradition and custom?
Pass.
That'd be common law or case law. 2 that were missed. The most universal good luck charm. It's hung with its pointed end up on your door. What is it?
Pass.
It's a horseshoe. And in traditional garb, the Pope dresses all in white except that his shoes are usually of what color?
Red.
Red is right. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Whittemore Prescott's 60-second. And their topic is Persian. The English language has a considerable number of Persian words therein. mostly borrowed from Turkish or Greek or Latin and other European languages. Identify these words from Persian with which we may be familiar. Oriental headdress made from a strip of cloth wound.
Headband.
Sorry. A large Asian cat with a black striped fur.
Pass.
Triple crown worn by the Pope.
Pass.
It means king or ruler.
Pass.
It's a board game from Shah, it's a board game for 2 players.
Pass.
A Middle Eastern market.
Pass.
Meaning courier or messenger. It means an immortal being acting as a messenger of God.
Prophet.
Sorry. From rosewater, a southern drink with mint and rum in it.
Pass.
A yellowish pink fruit with a fuzzy skin.
A peach.
Correct. All right. And any missed or passed questions, we'll now head over to Hale. Oriental headdress made from a strip of cloth wound.
Turban.
Correct. A large Asian cat with black striped fur.
Tiger.
Correct. Triple crown worn by the Pope.
I guess it's headdress.
Sorry, it's tiara.
Tiara.
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense.
It means king or ruler.
Emperor. Emperor.
Sorry, it's Shah, actually.
Shah.
And that question, from Shah, it's a board game for 2 players.
Chess.
Correct. A Middle Eastern market.
Pass.
It's a bazaar. Meaning courier or messenger, it means an immortal being acting as a messenger of God.
Disciple.
Sorry, we're looking for angel. A rosewater. From rosewater, a southern drink with mint and rum in it.
Tea.
Tea.
Sorry, we're looking for julep.
Julep.
Like a mint julep. A yellowish, sorry, she got that one right. Last one would be a square or oblong piece of material used as a covering for the head or shoulders.
Hat.
Hat.
We're looking for shawl.
Shawl. Okay.
All right, and that is going to do it for our 60-second round. We'll be right back with some updated scores and for our final round. Welcome back. We've got some updated scores for you. Looks like Hale's got 110, so they caught up, and Whittemore Prescott is at 75. And now we're going to move into our 4th and final round, which is another toss-up round, so let's just begin. This item was introduced by the U.S. Gypsum Company in 1916 as their improved version of sacket board. It consisted of a panel of gypsum pressed between 2 thick sheets of paper. Years passed before it became a popular item after World War II, even though U.S. Gypsum had by that time changed the product's name to sheetrock. What is the common name for this product that is today used in most building construction?
Aria.
Aria.
Drywall.
Drywall is correct. In an essay first published in French in 1942, Albert Camus retold this tale from Greek mythology to demonstrate his theory of the absurd. The subject of the story was a murderous and deceitful king. After he had seemingly escaped death, Zeus had had enough. He sentenced this mortal to the endless and pointless task of unsuccessfully rolling a boulder up a hill, named this ancient king of Corinth. That'd be Sisyphus. This work, which premiered in 1904, ranks as number 7 in the opera base list of the most performed operas worldwide. Its musical highlight is the aria in Act 2 called Un bel dì, or One Fine Day, which is performed by the lead soprano who plays Sio Sio-san, a Japanese woman who is awaiting the return of her lover from America, a lieutenant whose name is Pinkerton. The story does not end well for Sio Sio-san. Name this opera by Puccini.
Butterfly.
That's correct, Madame Butterfly. Located on the Monterey Peninsula, it has been called America's greatest public golf course. What is it? It'd be Pebble Beach. Architect Antoni Gaudi's work is most prominently found in this city. It's Spain's most important manufacturing and trade port and the site of Carl Lewis's last Olympic appearance in 1992. Name this Mediterranean cultural hub, Spain's second largest city. Aria?
Portugal.
Sorry, that's incorrect.
Oh my God.
Barcelona.
Barcelona is right. In 1832, Walter Johnson developed one of these using a rotating disc. 20 years later, Leon Foucault used one to show the rotation of the Earth. What are these devices used in inertial navigation systems where magnets won't work, typically consisting of a spinning wheel mounted so that its axis is free to turn in many directions? We're looking for a gyroscope. In 2011, the Indiana Department of Education dropped the requirement that students be taught this, but the Indiana Senate has just rebelled and passed a law requiring it in schools. Running, script, and joined-up writing are synonyms for what sort of handwriting? Cursive is right. In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, this creature falls asleep and gets up in a pot of tea. What character's name is a pun on a synonym for sleep? Aria.
The Dormouse.
Dormouse is right. In 1842, Charles Dickens wrote scathingly of the slavery he saw in this Virginia city, where Gabriel Prosser was hanged. What is this city, the second capital of the Confederacy? Ethan.
Richmond.
Richmond is right. David Copperfield's first wife was Dora Spenlow. Who was his second wife? David's childhood friend, closest confidant, and mother of his children. That's Agnes Wickfield. He was also a doctor of medicine. He was vilified by many of his contemporaries. For instance, Chopin said, "He composes by splashing his pen over the manuscript and leaving the issue to chance." And Mendelssohn called him a regular freak without a vestige of talent. But he was a master of orchestral excitement. Rarely used as a solo instrument, the viola is featured in his Herald in Italy. The harp did not appear in any symphony until his 1830 Symphonie Fantastique. Which French composer are we talking about? That'd be Hector Berlioz. This 19th century method took advantage of the specific natural conditions on the Great Plains. Name this means of drawing water from deep wells, one commonly used around the world, both as a means for water supply and for irrigation drainage. And that would be the windmill. And that's going to do it for our fourth and final round. We'll be right back with some scores. Welcome back. We've got some final scores for you. We've got Hale with 150 and Whittemore Prescott with 95. So congratulations, Hale, on your win today. Join us next time where we'll have Rogers City versus Tawas. And thanks for joining us at another edition of Knowledge Bowl. Before you go, I'd like to leave you with a quote by the great philosopher Plato, who said, "Knowledge is the food of the soul." So remember, stay hungry, my friends.